Super awkward FUN-CAST. You're listening to the Super Awkward FUN-CAST. Yeah. Welcome to the 6th anniversary episode. We made it 6 years with this shit. The Super Awkward FUN-CAST with Elle, Latham, and returning guest.
Hi.
Stephen Robles.
That's fine.
Who's one of the newer
I've been
guests.
doing this 3 years.
But compared to Steve, who was our second guest.
He's OG, though.
He's OG. OG Steve.
I'm just like baked into the walls, OG.
Yeah.
Steve Kaufmann. Yes.
We got 2 Steves today.
Steve.
Yeah, this is gonna be. So do we just fight for supremacy of Ruby's Steve
I'm older.
1 and
I'm
Steve
older
2?
than you. I know that.
Steve.
Way older than you.
Steve supremacy.
Seniority. I'm a senior, so it's about a senior citizen. So I guess.
Anyways, so we started this show on June 30th, 2013, but we have been alive before that in the form of the web show and then the stage show, which we talked about a little bit in the first episode. Hopefully you guys are all aware of what happened in the first episode, because I'm not going to do a recap.
You're not going to do a recap of a whole 6 years?
No, and what's happened since. So we've gotten a tiny bit more serious over the years, I think. And, but life's gotten serious, so we have to go with it.
I don't know how you qualify serious.
Serious topics, more so. Not like pop culture all the time, but sometimes political stuff that gets people all worked up.
I guess political. Like
Antifa, like we've talked about.
I don't think you know how deep Elle goes into conspiracy theories. Like, really, really deep. Like,
I'm friends with her on Facebook.
Oh, so you know
I'm
Twitter.
Not anymore.
Wow.
No, because I'm not on Facebook anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how deep
I disabled
it goes.
my account eventually.
It goes deep.
That's how
it's
deep
going to be
Antifa
deleted
goes.
in about 2 years.
You want to know
after they've sucked all the data dry.
You want to know my favorite conspiracy theory that Elle has?
Yes.
Do you know what the anniversary is coming up this year? A big anniversary in the history of humanity.
In the history of humanity?
Yeah. 50 years since...
Lincoln's dog.
No.
Okay.
Since we landed on the moon. So some of us believe, and some of us don't.
I don't have enough evidence to prove one way or the other.
There you go. That's my favorite.
For that specific
like
event.
Buzz Aldrin punched somebody in the face because they didn't think he went to the moon.
And it's okay to punch people in the face if you don't believe what they say.
I believe we went to the moon. I also believe the government is both deceptive and secretive enough. The problem is they're also incompetent enough that the moon conspiracy theory as one is too massive a conspiracy theory that I can't give my government enough trust to have kept that from everyone for so like that feels. That's like
somebody would have squealed. Like
that's like telling me the NFL is rigged, and I'm like, there's 60 athletes on each roster, and then like 1,000 people, and then there's 32 teams. Like 1,000 people working in the office for a team, and then there's 32 teams. Like, I'm not saying the NFL isn't rigged or couldn't be rigged. I'm saying that's highly improbable that many people would keep a secret.
No, you're right. I mean, there's still point shaving, things that go on, organized crime, NCAA especially, but. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there's no way, like, boxing might be.
Boxing is rigged.
Boxing is
like outwardly rigged.
Provenly.
Like have you watched
rigged.
it? Like if you see coverage for boxing and they're talking about like a championship fight in Nevada, they'll straight up say, well, the challenger.
I forgot to turn something off. Go on.
Okay.
Bye. Oh, I can touch the bear now.
Well, the challenger really needs to step up and knock the champion out, because if they don't, it's going to go to the scorecards and they're going to lose. Like that's how you cover every boxing match ever.
Yeah.
Like it's so beyond a conspiracy with boxing.
I mean,
you're like, no.
Any movies that involve boxers, at some point somebody's like, "You're towing this fight, boy. You're towing this fight." You're gonna get going down around 5 is covered in spread, boy.
My favorite part of the conspiracy theory of we didn't land on the moon being somebody who doesn't...
No, see, that's what happened. She told me that. I was like, I could not stop laughing for half an
It's
hour.
our show. Let's go.
It's fine.
But, like, the first time or whatever. My favorite part of it, and I can't even figure out how it got... Well, I guess I can, because people like movies. And people want to believe that movies are very much the same as real life, and that effects are crazy in whatever. But the 2001 A Space Odyssey movie is very brilliant, but I'm not sure if I believe that Stanley Kubrick directed the moon landing. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know if I believe that.
I think he...
I thought
You need more evidence to show me.
I thought you were going
that.
to jump into another conspiracy theory
No.
that Stanley Kubrick's trash. You're like, I don't believe that Stanley Kubrick directed 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm like, I want to hear this one. Tell me about this
That
one.
was the NASA.
That's actually Buzz
That
Aldrin.
was actually NASA.
Buzz Aldrin is actually an auteur.
Yeah, he directed 2001.
It was right in your face, the propaganda.
I think that Stanley Kubrick enjoyed that people thought he did. And
I'm
enjoyed,
sure,
like,
and
seeing
the
that.
whole conspiracy theories around his death and everything.
Yeah, I think he...
I'm sure that he just got a real kick out of that.
He seems
in
like the
death,
kind of guy that
like
would
in
do
his
that.
grave. Like
I think there are a lot
that's
of
a good
guys
one.
like Stanley Kubrick or Andy Kaufman or I have other examples, but people who there are a lot of conspiracy theories and rumors around.
Mm-hmm.
Elvis to a certain extent too.
Oh my gosh,
But
so
then
many.
Tupac.
But they think so highly of themselves and their image and their shtick to a certain extent that part of the reason these things persisted is that they never denied them when they had the chance.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason we think Andy Kaufman might still be alive is because when he was alive, he told people, like, wouldn't it be funny if I faked my death?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I came back 10 years later, it would be hysterical.
But he lives forever.
And he gets to live forever, and that's I think ultimately
in that
what he
legacy.
wants, but then people get to walk around and be wrong. Where I'm like, I'm pretty sure he died.
Is that your favorite fake death? Is that your favorite might still be alive? Because my favorite is Jim Morrison.
Elvis is my favorite.
See, I believe Jim Morrison and Elvis.
Tupac
I believe they're still alive.
is a more.
I
recent
saw
one.
Tupac's dead body. That motherfucker.
There was
dead.
a whole fucking thing on Instagram where they were saying this guy was Tupac, and it went way further
I was
than it
actually
should
in
have.
Vegas when he got killed. I was right above the crime scene.
You're serious?
Yeah, and we were in the hotel above the crime scene, and we were going to go down because there was a Mike Tyson fight in the MGM Grand. And I was like, let's go in there and see if there's any celebrities. And
exclusive.
Like, see what's going on. And my friend's like, no, let's just hang out in the hotel room. Like, it's crowded. We'll wait so everything clears up. And then we were looking down the window. We heard, like, a commotion outside. And we looked out, and the intersection was like suddenly becoming people were running away.
Yeah.
And the cops were swarming in. And we were like, what the fuck's that? So we turned the TV on the hotel, and it's like Tupac was shot, like right below us. And I was like, holy crap.
And you were high up enough that you couldn't hear gunshots.
We just heard commotion.
Yeah,
because we were at a balcony, the door was open, so you could hear it. And
how have you never said that until now?
I did. I told you that on this show.
I must not have recalled.
He's going to give you an episode number and a time code.
Yeah, no, I don't even remember. But so we were up there, and I was
It's
like, holy
hard to
crap, like
remember.
Tupac killed, and everybody in the MGM Grand had to stay in there the whole night. So I'm like, because they didn't go in there.
What is it with the MGM Grand and shootings?
Oh, that's just where the boxing was. I don't know.
But
The shooting was outside on the street. So
that's it. The me that likes to stay in cheaper establishments in Las Vegas and then walk to the Strip has seen that street many a time.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that, like, I'm just walking to Caesars because that's where I want to be, and I'm staying at the Tuscany.
That's your favorite? Caesars?
No, that's where last time I was there, I was working at Caesars. I actually don't like Caesars.
No, what are you doing there?
It's so opulent and annoying, and like.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's like a theme park.
Are you talking about Vegas or Caesars?
Caesars.
Okay, Caesars is a lot.
Some of Vegas is okay.
They also
like
don't. They also don't pay their blackjacks right, and you'll never find a $5 table. That's why I won't fuck with Caesars. I
You gotta go
an
off
explicit
strip for $5.
The Golden Nugget's pretty cool. For
like
like
food
slots
stuff, yeah.
and
Like
stuff.
Fitzgerald's off the strip. I don't know if it's still there or not.
Ooh, that's a pull.
Yeah, yeah. I used to win there all the time, and it had $2 blackjack, and I was like, "Go to Fitzgerald's."
Old Vegas.
Well, because right by Fitzgerald's there used to be a casino that was like tropical themed. I don't remember what it was called, but that's where I had a deep fried Twinkie for the first time.
It wasn't the Tropicana.
No, it was like inside the Fremont area like that.
Oh, I know this. I know this
Oh,
spot. I don't think it's there anymore.
So what are you doing at Caesars?
There was a pro wrestling convention called StarCast. There was their second one, and then their third one's going to be in Chicago, and I'm going to be there. I was working. It was weird because I just kind of had I work pretty closely with a lot of the people that are involved in that show, and I just kind of texted someone. I was like, "Hey, can I like come out to StarCast and like help?"
Yeah, you need anything? I want to hang out.
Yeah, like it's I don't ever need much of an excuse to go to Las Vegas, and they were like, "Sure." And then within like a day or two, it was like, "So StarCast 3 in Chicago, you're coming, right?" And I'm like, yes.
That's cool.
It's like the first one's free, y'all.
How did we get from the moon landing to Vegas?
It's all
You
fantasy.
roll with this. You roll with this crew.
There should be a moon-themed casino. A astronomy-themed casino would be kind of fun.
There are
like a giant telescope you could look through. And
maybe it's because I came up through theme parks. I don't think that I think the theming in casinos isn't as hardcore as it could be. Like New York does it right, and everything else, and like Caesars for all I don't like about just a massive complex like that. Like Caesars does it right where it feels like a theme.
Yeah. It is definitely themed.
But like the Tropicana just kind of like the outside is just a giant white building, and then the inside is like the theme doesn't.
Yeah, the carpet is blue.
Yeah, like the theme doesn't translate to every casino. That some casinos could really.
Excalibur, that's a good one.
That's a good one, but then they haven't updated it in like 30 years.
Yeah. Well, they have jousting and stuff inside.
They do. I have yet to do the King of Kings, but
probably the best buffet, the best cheap buffet on the strip.
Is Excalibur?
No, they're the best food.
I can't enjoy the buffets. See, being a vegan in Vegas is just kind of...
They probably have a lot of stuff now because there's such a huge Asian population that goes there. You could easily find vegan food there because they don't eat meat either.
Well, and that the buffets are so massive that I don't want to speak for them, but I'm pretty sure the buffets are so massive in Las Vegas that you could totally find many portions of them that have the stuff you want.
Cobble something together.
The thing is, it's like not as readily available, so it's not like you're gorging yourself on vegan food, which is what a vegan buffet would be, which would be really cool.
I bet you could find one now. I bet you went there, you could find just a specific vegan buffet there.
That'd be cool.
I bet you could.
I like the vegan donuts that I had there. Near Fremont. Wait, was it Fremont? Whatever.
Probably.
That's where the fried stuff is.
I know the place. They're in San Diego.
Oh, donuts or something. O-Face Donuts.
Yes. O-Face Donuts.
I'm sorry, that exists. Or it did at one point.
There's a
I don't know if
Randy's
it exists
Donuts up
anymore.
the street. Have you seen that?
Yes, the brand new
the
Randy.
arch, the donut arch.
Because the Randy's was iconic for LA, but most tourists
Now
come to
donuts.
Hollywood. So Randy's decided to just set themselves up in Hollywood.
Because Randy's is up like LAX, right? Like the original one.
They're fun.
No one goes there. Except people that don't live in LA.
It's
you
actually
big
funny.
dummy.
It's actually funny you mentioned veganism in Las Vegas. I had this grand scheme that felt too dishonest, so I didn't do it, but I really should have done it, which is I wanted to come up with a pretty much just restaurant guide of restaurants in Las Vegas I like to eat, but call it the Las Vegan Guide. The Las Vegan Restaurant Guide.
That makes sense.
Because the word vegan would be in the title, so people would buy it assuming it's vegan restaurants in Las Vegas.
Vegan.
I like that.
Yeah, like that
That's probably taken, but yeah.
But it's like it's not. I checked.
These people are stupid.
It's still a scam I could pull.
Creativity.
You could.
But in my mind, like you write the ebook in like a day, and then you sell it for like $1, and then 1,000 people buy it.
It's not a
in a
scam
month,
though.
and
Like it's literally what you would call a Las Vegas person. It's Las Vegas.
Yeah, like a locals guide. Like it's essentially a locals guide to Las Vegas cuisine, but you call it the Las Vegans Guide.
And then show all the buffets in there. That's
there's going to be a lot of steakhouses, a lot of stuff that's not vegan.
That's what I do. You cut me in, I'll design that.
I like that.
Okay.
And we'll put
as
it on
a
Amazon.
vegan, I can support this.
Yeah, she's fine with it.
But like you're okay with hoodwinking people because that's what it is. The whole point.
Vegas is hoodwinking people. I don't give a shit. Like
that's the whole point of Las Vegas.
If it's an ebook, it's $1.
Look, we're in Donald Trump's America. I make money any way I can. I follow the model of my president, and he would do that. He would have that. He would make that happen.
Trump's Las Vegan restaurant.
Yeah, in Las Vegas, and he's like, yeah, we guys not.
And he'll have all the taco bowls for everyone.
Yeah, taco bowls and McDonald's and stuff. It wouldn't even be food from the restaurant; it'd just be like a fast food that's just there.
Although if I'm involved in this project, there will be no seafood restaurants.
I
love seafood, but I have a very strict 200 miles inland rule.
Oh no, good.
So I had some bad shellfish at the Cosmopolitan. Yeah, I'll call them out.
Well, you can, but they farm it in Arizona, so you wouldn't be too far from there.
The mussels. There were like clams and mussels and shit that you had to get off. Ocean.
No, fuck that.
Ocean seafood.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't trust anybody with ocean food at this point.
I mean, you gotta if you want to eat it.
Yeah, I live in LA. I don't care what I eat. I was on the bus. Like,
there's just so much pollution all over the.
Yeah. People
place.
adapt, though. They adapt to it.
Yeah.
We'll grow gills at some point.
I mean, we have plastic in our bodies, most likely, so.
Yeah.
Little particles.
I don't care.
Not a lot of it.
Still alive.
Yeah.
Now you're like shit. Like my whole life. So.
So.
We look back at the host and she's looking back at us.
And she's like,
cool.
We got some content? No. Did you guys watch the debates?
We're going to talk about it?
No, I just want to bring it up. I don't want to talk about it.
Let's not do a whole thing about it.
Actually, I'd like to say that. Well, you guys were actually polite and stopped talking because that's what the debate sounded like. I think.
Oh right.
Wait, no.
See,
I was that little girl. T-shirts, guys.
I was on the bus.
Get that T-shirt printed. God, so disgusting.
Love, energy, sorceress.
She's the Russian plant. That's the Russian thing.
They were all over Jill Stein. This chick was like right there.
They were like, holy shit, like she's the one. Like they want her so bad, and now I'm reading that conservatives have donated to her campaign, so she stays in the debates. Because I hope she wins. I hope she
dude.
I hope this. Oh my god.
She's connected to Oprah. It's just too.
We're going to overcome you with love, sir.
Are we talking about Kamala Harris? Who are we talking about?
Madeline.
Marianne
Williams.
She got a bit more time than I thought she deserved.
Well, they were saying that they cut off the mics. Like a lot of people were saying that, including her. And I was thinking, like, the other night, like, they did have that debate the first night, and then they had all these mic issues and shit. What if that was them, like, trying to get the mics cut off for certain people and not for other people, and then they got caught and they were like, "Oh, mic issues."
It sounds to me like they had.
That's interesting.
It sounds to me like
there's something wrong with these mics. Is all I'm saying.
Well, it sounds to me like one sound guy had to somehow figure out how to manage. If you have two moderators and then two more moderators that switch in the middle of the hour, and then you have 10 candidates, that's 14 microphones. I can speak as a professional. That's a lot of microphones to manage on a board. That I wouldn't be shocked if.
And I wouldn't be shocked if it was not on purpose.
And then I think the mistake is pretty.
I think there were a lot of issues with the mic, and that's what people are glomming on to.
The mistake could be pretty
easily
made, even as a professional. Because if you told me you're going to manage 14 microphones, probably more because there's audience microphones.
Why aren't people talking about the mic issues from the first night when they're saying because they're biased and they're stupid?
The second night. There's a second night, and I also think, and I went ahead and created a mic issue by kicking the table.
Yeah. I used to pound the table.
But if you told me I had to manage 14 microphones during a live broadcast, the first thing I would do is group a bunch of those microphones and put them on one slider. So I think what happens is he put all the moderator they threw back from a commercial, and the moderators were in the crowd.
Right.
And through to the other moderators. So I think what he did was he linked the moderator microphones to the crowd microphones. And then through to the moderators, and then he was patching between. And I didn't read up on this at all, but just from a professional standpoint, what I think happened is he kept hearing the moderators from the crowd and kept messing with the dial that they were on before the commercial break, and didn't know what to, and it got so confused because imagine regrouping 14 microphones because hopefully they would have given
people aren't thinking logically about it. Is all I'm saying.
Hopefully they'd have given him they would have given him the moderator rundown of who gets what question, so that he could be prepared for the next question is for Elizabeth Warren. So I'm going to put Elizabeth Warren on one channel so I can manage her levels, and then level everybody else out.
But then they can't do that because.
Well, and that's hard to do.
He could just slip out with other questions. You know what I mean? No one's gonna. trust anybody to be.
I just think, like, people don't think logically. They go straight to whatever
Russia
they want to go to.
Yeah.
It was Russia.
Yeah, it was Russia. Russian mics.
Whatever. Or they're silencing people and stuff. Maybe they're not actually silent. Maybe there's a fucking problem with the mic, and maybe that's what should be spoken about.
Problem. I also think that, and I described the first debate specifically, felt to me like there were 2 Lincolns, 8 Kennedys,
Whoa, shit.
and a moderator, and like you would hear 407. Okay, that's your time.
Yeah.
Where it's like everyone up there felt brilliant and amazing, and like if I'd seen and I've heard a lot of them all individually in interviews, and I'm like, oh, you also seem like an incredible candidate and worthy of
some of them.
I don't know if I go that far.
Who are we gonna trash? Let's go.
Who are we gonna trash?
All of them?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much like Kamala Harris.
Unfortunately,
Can't stand her.
like
You can't stand Kamala Harris?
No, and because I remember reading when she
shit.
first entered the debate or the nomination process. First of all, she went for the heavy money donors right out the bat. That just makes me sick. It's
True.
like that's just gross. Secondly, she's already been promised the electoral votes that Hillary Clinton's got, the delegate votes.
Super delegates.
Yeah.
Already planned for her how this is going to go, and I hate that shit. I hate the DNC. I hate the fact they're in charge of things. I hate that they anoint people. Like I'm Elizabeth Warren all the way. Like that's my pick. If I had to pick a Democrat, I don't think any Democrat's going to win. Honestly, I think Trump's going to win, but
he is.
But if I had to pick a Democrat, I'm picking Elizabeth Warren or Bernie. But I like Elizabeth Warren a lot. She seems to be steady, have a good plan, is able to explain things to people in ways that they can understand it. Can talk like Trump wins because he can speak to everybody, right? But he's not saying anything, but he can speak to everybody. But Elizabeth Warren can speak to everybody, and she's saying something, and she can say, "Well, you don't understand that. Let me explain it this way." And they understand it, and she's like, "How are we going to pay for this? This is how we're going to pay for it. This is how it's going to happen." Then we break it down cent by cent of where the money's going to go, and this is what's coming from. This is what we're going to do with it. This is what my plan. And Bernie's like, all right, why don't we do free college? And okay, well, we have that from her already, and she's already got a plan about it. And you don't.
I feel you're discounting Bernie a little. He has the plan, and
he has a plan to tax Wall Street,
and he does speak to a large swath.
No, I agree with that.
In a way that people don't.
Well, he speaks to the dominant voting bloc, the male vote, and that's a huge voting bloc. So he's got that there, but. But he wants to tax Wall Street, which I feel has anybody been able to do anything to Wall Street ever? No one's ever been able to do anything. Trump thought he was going to do it too, and there's no, he
He's
can't.
a snake oil salesman.
Well, but he can't. No one could. Obama couldn't either. Nobody can penetrate the defense of Goldman Sachs. There's just no way. It's so entrenched in our government. It's so intertwined with everything they do. They used the housing crisis to destroy the other banks. To destroy Bear Lehman, to destroy ING, to destroy Deutsche Bank, to destroy these banks and be the only ones left. So it's they're the ones that the Secretary of the Treasury, all the economic guys, they're all part of Goldman Sachs, all of them.
Yeah.
Right? The Clintons are part of Goldman Sachs. They're entwined in that. Obama, his financial advisor was Goldman Sachs. It's just sick, and I think that when someone steps into office, they have plans. I'm just going to pull that guy out of there and put my own guy. And maybe Trump was like, my own money guy. He's criminal. I can just put him in there. And Goldman Sachs yeah, you know what? Go ahead, try to figure everything out that we've done over the past 110 years. Good luck, because we'll pull our guy out of there, and you have no idea what we've done. So good luck, and good luck crashing the economy again. Good luck. And Obama came in to TARP and had to deal with that bullshit. So
To bring it back to the debate,
yeah.
I think the questions were garbage.
They are.
Well, the moderators are garbage. Rachel Maddow is not.
She's a conspiracy.
She's also a TV personality. She's not serious.
And she'd be the first to tell you that she's a TV personality first, and then a journalist. I'd say that she's both.
I wouldn't say a journalist. I think she's more
an
anchor person, where journalists do her work for her, and she presents it Jon Stewart. Everything Jon Stewart's is a brilliant guy.
Just read off a teleprompter.
But he's got brilliant writers and researchers that feed him this information. He might know a little bit about it, but. He's
something's going down in the background.
Oh, that's my right.
It's Tupac.
Or Rush Limbaugh, who's
we're gonna get shut down by the government.
Who's this conservative paragon, but he gets all his information from other people, and he just presents it in a way that makes people excited. But or the Mexican guy that was on the moderator, Jose, he's just
what was with all of the Spanish? That
was so dumb.
That was the most pandering I've ever seen in 5 minutes.
Banderilla, that was.
Banderilla, see.
I appreciated it, and at the same time, as someone who likes multiculturalism, I appreciated it. As someone who doesn't speak Spanish and was trying to watch the whole debate,
right?
I was very much No, absolutely speak both languages, but also, like, can we subtitle him?
Also, Cory
Because
Booker.
I want to be sure that his translation's the same shit.
Yeah. Well, and also there's Univision is broadcasting it. So if you want to watch a
Why?
Spanish broadcast, well, because they want.
No. I mean, like, why would they do that when there's already
there's
an
already a
option?
Spanish broadcast. It was already translated everything word for word. So it's
Exactly.
like, if you want to watch Spanish, watch that.
Yes.
But I like the idea that he's speaking to that swath of voter,
Well, so
and he
does he.
hears that swath of voter, and he understands that swath. Like it.
But they're more than a swath of voters.
It's a 25 candidate field. Everything's going to be pandering until it's an 8 candidate field. So, like, I forgive him. Like, I can forgive stuff like that when it ultimately speaks to a broader...
I cannot forgive Cory Booker for his pronunciation of Spanish.
I didn't even know he was even partly Hispanic, Latino, whatever. Latin.
He was just he
the
learned
Rosario
some words and he said them, and he's like...
Well, even Beto O'Rourke, like he just sounded like he was, I don't know.
He didn't sound all the way right for me either.
Everybody sounded bad, and I was like, why,
if you're gonna speak Spanish, do it right. You know?
Do it. That's like, but the guy Jose was talking about the people. The sad story about the kid and her dad who drowned.
Yeah,
in the river.
but that's propaganda. Clearly.
Well, but the kid's still dead.
They're
the guy's
just
still
gotta.
dead, right? But
it's kind of like the Syrian photo.
But they're
like,
still
that
dead.
Kid who
okay?
was not dead, who was
but
like
these
on the
people
beach.
are dead. So, but the way Jose was telling the story, and they were crossing the river, and do you remember that? Have you heard that?
Yes, that's
And
propaganda.
he's just like, but the way he's presenting it is so funny to me. Like, why is he talking like that? Like, why is he talking like Zorro all of a sudden? Like, that's so
he was
weird.
so awkward the whole time. Like,
that's for the second night, but you didn't see any of that the second night because they were like, no, let's just go through this. You're not going to double up your time by speaking Spanish and speaking English. We're not going to give you more time because of that, which was really my problem with it. It's like, say something of substance. Don't just say the same thing twice. Like, say something of substance. Let the translators handle it. Like, that's the point. So, or you can put the ACP, captions on your television and watch it in Spanish if you want to watch it in Spanish. But don't waste your time doing that. Like, I mean, I get it, but let's hear what you got to say. Let's hear more stuff.
I do think there are 9 people, let's say 8 people, because like Raul came off pretty well, that on the first night.
Julian.
Julian Castro.
There are too many. I openly admit I'm not trying to remember everyone's name.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't have to.
Until after Iowa.
They don't matter.
Just remember Bernie, Kamala Harris,
Don't remember any of
Elizabeth
them.
Warren, and Joe Biden. Those are the 4 you got to remember.
Biden's not going to make it far.
I think he will.
I think he's been eating it since that debate.
Well, okay,
Since the torch gaff.
Kamala's the chosen
When
one
I thought
to go
maybe
against him.
he.
No, I thought if the DNC is actually picking a king or a queen, I thought it was Elizabeth Warren.
Nah.
I know
At
they
first,
claim
it seemed
they claim that it was random, but if we're gonna put on tinfoil hats,
She got more time.
well, she got her own night. Like,
Well, yeah, in the press they were talking about her all the time.
imagine Coachella is 3 weekends, but Beyonce only plays one of the weekends. Which of those weekends would be the most popular?
Yeah.
It would be the one Beyonce's on. Like,
I get you.
That's kind of, if the DNC like were to stack the deck, that's how they'd do it.
Well, in the DNC, so like Elizabeth Warren, like I'm subscribed to 2 official campaign like informations: Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders, and Donald Trump. Just so I can see what they're doing over there. But
Good luck with that.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I'm always interested in what both sides are doing because I feel like both sides have something to do. They have to have a plan. So I'm interested in seeing what they're doing because.
Yeah, like North Korea today. What the fuck?
That's fine. That's cool. I mean, Nixon went to China, whatever. Like,
it's cool. It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like that's a move.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a power
big
move.
That's what I'm saying. Like Trump is like
South Korea power
changing
move.
the face of the presidency forever. Like forever,
Yeah.
good or bad. He's changing everything. Like these debates are completely the way they are because of him. Like he was in there just like maneuvering all of them to look like fools, but they're like, I'm pissed off. Like everybody's swearing, everybody's cutting each other off. They're speaking to the people. They're trying anyway. So like he's changed that. Like the way he uses social media. There's no president that's never gonna be able to do that. You're always gonna have to use social media like that.
And memes. He's
and
a
memes.
memester.
And like he's into pop culture. He's into wrestling, right? He's a big wrestling guy. And
he makes them look stupid sometimes because they go against him about the stupidest shit.
and he throws the pebble in the water and watches them all scramble around.
Yeah, he's waiting for
and laughs, and they're like, and they think he's a moron, and it's like, the guy's been one of the most famous people in the world for 35 years. He's made billions of dollars. He is still around, relevant, and now he's president. Like he's not a moron. He's just gonna fuck you guys up because he can manipulate people.
He can be both a moron and everything you're saying he is.
Yeah, well,
he's not a mad scientist. No. He's only really good at stirring shit.
Well, he's not a political person, so he's not smart politically.
He's not smart politically. He's not smart mathematically. He's not smart. And pretty much pick all of the places he's not smart. The one place I would argue he has a very high level of skill is he can see, well, if I make this signal, this is the noise. And and if I create a signal, I can understand what the noise will be around that signal and how everyone will follow the noise and not follow the signal. And like very few people have really been good at finding his signal versus around his noise.
He has the media wrapped around his finger.
Well, he knows how to do it. Like one of his best friends is Vince McMahon. Like that's one of his best friends in the world. His wife works for him. Like Linda McMahon runs the Small Business Administration for the United States government. Like he knows them, and like there's no greater manipulator of the media than Vince McMahon. And one of his other good friends is Howard Stern, who is another guy who's managed to stay in the spotlight number one for 35 years, almost 40 years. He's been number one in his medium. It's like that's insanity. When you learn from those two people how to make people jump and do what you want to do, you can do anything. Mm-hmm. And Donald Trump already has a charisma where it's like people want to know about him. He's got the same effect Howard Stern does.
And that's partly because of the media, because they put him out there on TV all the time.
Sure.
Back in the day.
And that's the reason I haven't seen SNL since the episode. Well,
you remember the one where...
Well, first off, I thought SNL had been trashed for a real long time before
it
that.
Has been.
Like, just as...
It's like spotty.
As a sketch... Like,
Since
just as a... Like,
90s.
it's... Well, it was funny for me to move here in 2011 to learn to write sketch comedy, and one of the first things I learned was, oh, SNL is trash. Like, SNL takes people here who learn the purity of sketch comedy, and then they distort it for whatever they do, and then because they're an established entity, they get to claim what sketch comedy is. So I'd already had my issues with that.
Well, it's so hierarchical there.
And then they gave time to a presidential candidate. Like, they gave a presidential candidate the host spot. Because in their mind, they're like, oh, he's a joke candidate. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you really should not be giving a presidential candidate anything more than a walk-on appearance on your show. Like, that's a line you should not cross. Yeah. So now everything they've done since always came
hollow.
off...
It's
came
not
off
real.
Completely disingenuous to me.
Yes.
You sniffed his throne when you didn't think he'd have it. And now that he has it, you're like, oh, we're real harsh on him.
It's like the people who used to like hang out with him at events and shit, like Tina Fey and Alec Baldwin, I'll say. Like certain people who are celebrities who hung out with him back in the day before he was thinking about running for real. And now they're all like up in arms like, oh my gosh, he's the worst, he's the worst.
Yeah, I know. And
it's
like, he's the same guy. Like,
you knew the guy, so like...
Khashoggi boat.
What the fuck? And Adnan Khashoggi, like his connection to Adnan Khashoggi that nobody fucking brings up.
That's fascinating. And Trump fascinates me. I remember when he first came into the race, he fascinated me because it's like it was almost like my version of Ronald Reagan, like my generation's version of a celebrity who became a politician. Even though Ronald Reagan had governor experience in California and other things, I was fascinated by him, and then I just became tired of it because I'm like, I got tired of all of the subterfuge and all of this media bullshit and everybody pulling this or that and tweaking this and tweaking that and his stupidity. And it's like, I just got tired of it.
I'm tired of the psyops. I'm tired of the cube nonsense. I'm tired of all the trolls and, thinking that he's playing some 60 chess with people's lives on the line. And it's just enough already. Like, the joke's over. The punchline has been said. It's time to take a step back and see, like, what do you want from this world? And how do you think you're going to get it? Because you're not going to get it from a world leader of any kind at this point. They're not going to be working for you at this point.
I suspect that's happening. It's going to take time. I think what Trump has done as well is he's made people look harder at these kind of things. Like, people don't...
Definitely the liberals.
People never really talk about the weird positive bounce that he's having just indirectly.
Yeah.
The activism, the political awareness, people like Alexandra Ocasio who are like young, inexperienced people, but she's there and she's like revealing everything she sees in the government. She puts in her Twitter. Like
she's to the nth degree, and some people.
But that's going to temper out.
Calm down,
right?
But if she's going to be a 10 and a 1 is going to be a standard Democrat, like a 6 will be 6 will be president in the next 10 years.
Yeah, for real.
But that moves everyone. Similar to how Bernie moved the Democratic Party further to the left
by sheepdogging.
AOC.
By sheepdogging for them, by carrying water for them.
I'm not going to...
Inadvertently. exactly. And that's why
he didn't open. He
he decides to run again as a Democrat when he knows that if he ran as an independent, people would be behind him 100%.
But then he'd have to run it. But then he'd have to run against the president of the United States, which, by the way, is already the hardest thing you could ever do politically.
He beat him in every poll, single poll.
Yeah, but polls don't matter. Votes matter.
I can't. You have to throw polls out every time. Like,
and he beat her. The woman who shan't be named in the last primaries, but most of the time there was election fraud and that got in the way.
If you haven't seen the Trump documentary that Michael Moore made that's on Amazon Prime, that's a great thing to watch.
Also, why did he vote for her then if he was like getting fucked?
Because he thought,
the whole time.
When he realized that what was happening to him, and I think that's what Biden.
No, I'm talking about like Michael Moore. If you're gonna make a movie about that, like.
Because he didn't
back it up.
Because
like,
Trump is
that's not enough. That's not enough for somebody to say, "Oh, he's bad, so you got to vote for this person who's not as bad."
Yeah, no. The anything blue thing is the most insidious political maneuver. That's how you get a real despot. Like Trump might be a moron, maybe, but he's not a true dictator. Like you get dictatorship and you get tyranny and you get I can't even think of the word, but you get true fascism when you just vote for somebody because they're not something else, and like not because of their substance, not because of their thing, but just because they're not this guy. And like that way you can put anything in, you can put anybody in. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, just vote blue. Like, no, vote.
To be fair, I'm not saying just vote blue. I'm saying that Hillary Clinton was the most qualified.
But she's a qualified war criminal, so some people had a problem with that.
It's
and she
was already running.
He wasn't yet. So,
but the choice was between someone who we all thought
there was no choice.
We all thought a Trump
just a binary.
We all thought Trump's candidacy was a joke.
I didn't think of it.
I didn't.
But hear me out. Like a lot of us thought Trump's candidacy was a joke. But you're right. Looking back, what we did know is everything that man says, if he gets the opportunity to, he actually does. And he said some terrible shit.
She did some terrible shit. And she got away with it pretty much. Like a lot of other people before her, like David Petraeus gets away with all this shit. And he gets to go to Bilderberg meetings now and handle policy.
Bilderberg.
I also heard Build-A-Bear.
Yeah. Bilderberg.
Oh, Bilderberg.
I know it was something like Bilderberg.
Where Mike Pompeo actually stepped in and went to the Shielon Castle on the little USS Kissinger boat with Kissinger and all the cronies. And Jared Kushner was there as well, and they were affecting policy in private in Switzerland. So it's just
and I think Hillary
shit's gonna keep happening.
Became reviled because of what she did to Bernie, and I think that because you're right, Bernie had a lot of popular.
I already reviled her for the Obama.
Well, I know I'm not talking about you, but I think people. I think that's why people voted Trump.
She's racist.
Because my opinion was like, I'm either going to vote for Trump or Bernie. I'm not going to vote for her because I don't like what they're doing to Bernie Sanders. Like I think they're building him up to steal his votes because there was never any
and money
and his money. Because like I was going to say earlier, while Elizabeth Warren is I subscribe to her newsletter and she always sends out things for money, right? And it's like send me $3, cool. But then the DNC sends something else saying, "Oh, Elizabeth Warren wants you to send money, but not to her, to the DNC." And they're like, "That's just for our fair thing, like our fair vote, fair funding thing." And I'm like,
"No, thank you.
I'll send it directly to her. Thank you very much. Like I'm not interested in sending it to you guys."
It goes the same place. That's the problem with ActBlue.
But I know that money's not going to go to her. I know it's not. And that's why Bernie runs as a Democrat, because he can't afford to run on his own as an independent if he gets the nomination for the general election. That's why Trump runs as a Republican. Because let me tell you what, Trump would have run as an independent if he could have. If he thought he could afford to do it, I think he would have done it. And I think, or he would have run as a Democrat. He would have run as a Democrat.
Because he's been everything.
Yeah, he's been everything. But he ran for the GOP because he knew they were vulnerable. He knew they had money. He knew he could win the nomination. I think he knew it the whole time. Like he's like, I can't. These guys are splitting their votes up too much. We have good thing. That's a good thing the Republicans are good at. Is they're good at uniting and mobilizing together under one banner, and the Democrats can't do that. They're constantly fighting about what's right, and it's like, what's the disarray here? Now, I think in 2024 we're going to see a Democrat. We just
if we're still alive, which I hope we will.
Fine, we'll be fine.
We're as fine as we were.
People are going. Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland is selling out every fucking day. We're doing fine, okay? Like everybody's there every day. My Facebook.
Asteroids nearly miss us a lot of the time.
There's no asteroid.
To be fair, I was always on record as hating the two-party system.
Okay.
I would much rather we all and I had a grand plan. By the end of Obama's first term, I was like, if Obama truly wanted true landscape change, he'd run as an independent, as a sitting president. Because that's how you destroy the two-party system.
Yeah, but he was already a part of the system at that point.
Well, I think
he could have stood above. He could have
Nobel
stood above
Peace
it.
Prize winning.
Well, and
drone
bulletproof.
strike.
Bulletproof 100%. Like, how do you criticize a black president? Like, you can't.
A sitting black president,
He's going to
deport.
He's going to deport people and put them in prison camps and.
Dude literally had more deportations than
Not only
Bush.
did he have that, but he sent 1,100 kids into child trafficking with his immigration policies,
and they called him deporter in chief. That was
not
his
intentionally,
thing.
but through neglect. And it's like the people are ragging on Trump, but it's like these kids, at least they're someplace. Like, and people keep coming and flowing in. They're like, "There's no crisis." I'm like, "You tell me there's no fucking crisis."
Is.
Thousands of people are coming over the border every day.
How are we going to
no
feed them? How are we going to give them health care? How are we going to give every fucking person who comes in this country health care when we can't even afford
that have
it?
Money for it.
Oh yeah, tax everybody. That's the
just
solution.
like Elizabeth Warren's idea is great. Like,
I don't agree.
2 cents on every dollar over $10 million.
Taxes isn't needed. We need to defund most of the military.
Well, we can't do that because the rest the world doesn't work that way.
Trillions of dollars
we disarm
used on bombs, which is bad for the environment. Also will help with climate change, but whatever.
But none of that matters because we disarm. Someone steps in and take what we have, and that's just how it's going to work. Because we can talk about peace all we want. The rest of the world is not peaceful. The rest of the world is.
I wonder why.
Because they want
all the coups.
They want what we have. So
nobody wants what the fuck this place has.
Oh yeah, they do. We have a whole middle ground of fertile land that we can farm and use.
And we have GMOs everywhere.
We have resources that everybody wants. We have people that work that are just slaves to the working system that will work.
We outsource slavery.
Exactly, but we have that power. And people want that power. So and they're going to take it. Like, one of my theories is that we don't get invaded by a foreign power because everybody on the planet thinks every American has a gun. And it's like that's why it's important that we protect our gun rights, because that's what keeps.
How is Elizabeth Warren going to protect your gun rights?
I don't care about my gun rights. I don't own a gun. But,
okay.
But like Bernie Sanders, like he has a logical take on gun rights where it's like some people just need guns. Like, this is how it works. Like, some people hunt, some people protect their property from other people. You know, he lives in rural Vermont where he did, and he's like, you know, there are people here that need those guns for protection.
They smear him all the time on that shit.
Although to be fair, no Democrat, and correct me if I'm wrong, no Democratic presidential nominee has ever put forth a plan that says we're going to take your gun.
No,
like I had a problem.
One of those, like,
I had a problem
smears.
But I had a problem with one of those questions last week. Where, like, what are you going to tell to a middle American who wants their guns, wants to keep their guns, and wants to have their guns?
That's
like, what are you
going
to tell them? And no one took the question. No one, because that looked like a softball to me as someone who's really good at arguing, which is like, oh, I get to completely deface your question in one sentence, and then use the rest of my time to say whatever the fuck I want. And no one took that opportunity to say, well, in the history of gun policy, no one has ever, in the last 20 years, ever proposed, let alone passed, anything remotely to what you said everyone's concern is. Yeah. Everyone's concern is ill-founded because no one's actually coming for your guns.
The problem is...
Because most Americans do have... Like, it's a perception because it's a reality. There's 1.2 guns per capita, per person. Like, per American citizen, there's 1.2 guns. If not 2. So, like, that perception is true. Mm-hmm. So that's why people wouldn't invade, but in reality, like, no one's trying to take those. That's a fool's errand. They can't because it's a Second Amendment right.
Exactly.
And that's what people are like, how can they do this? How can they do that? I'm like, how come they can do this with abortion, but they can't do it with guns? And I'm like, because there's no constitutional right to an abortion. Like, it's sad enough for them, but there is no right to it. There's a right to own an arm, to own a firearm. Now, I think Governor Newsom is doing something weird in taxing the ammunition the way he is, and starting that tomorrow, that ammo tax, which is interesting. But all it did was cause people to hoard ammo. So it's like, they're all going to have it anyway, and still have the guns, and you can make bullets. Like, it's not, it's not even making bullets, but I think that's an interesting step forward. Mm-hmm. And I don't like a lot of stuff he's doing right now, but. You're bursting over here.
The main problem.
Oh my God.
these freaking conservatives who always get up in arms every time there's a shooting, and they're like, oh, they're going to take our guns. The main problem is the security...
Yes?
I forgot what it was called. Industrial... Security industrial complex, where that's what they're going after. They're going to increase security measures in every single aspect of our lives, and biometric data, that sort of thing. Racial, facial recognition, sometimes racial recognition, depending. But, that's what the whole plan is. It's not taking away guns, it's going to be security. Every fucking where.
Yeah.
Surveillance all the time. 24/7, just like in China, and the social credit system that's going on there is going to come here.
Well, England has the same surveillance culture, and they look what they do when something happens there. They easily catch people.
Yes, but in China, they put your worst moments on national TV and say, "Hey, don't do that," and we're going to give you a demerit on your credit. Or something like that. Like, they move you down. And then they eventually ban you from taking public transportation and flights, and it's fucked up.
I don't think China's a good role model.
So I think...
But I think America knows China's not a good role model, so I don't think
But the thing is, the people at the top who are making the decisions
nosedive.
It's not
work with China. So...
We're already doing a version of nosedive now with just public shaming in general.
I know, that's
people like
our version of it.
Because our version of that is public shaming, which is something that always frustrated me.
People lose jobs. They lose careers.
People lose their whole lives because...
of allegations.
Even if it's beyond
or
allegations.
Or fake news.
Even if it's beyond allegations, even if it's a baseless claim, even if you did that shit. Let's say I did some shit in 1998. That was terrible by today's standards. It might have been terrible by 1998 standards. But everyone found out about it in 2019. The thing is, the people who care about me and what I'm up to, which is not a very large group, I might lose some of those people, as I should. Most of those people, because they're like, oh, I can't fathom that he could have ever done that. And a lot of them will stick by me, especially if I come out and say, I did that, I was wrong, I've grown, that's not who I am currently, which is the only thing that matters. Who I am currently, who you think I'm going to be, my connection to you, and we can move past that. The problem with public shaming is the 20,000 people that follow me on Twitter aren't the people making that choice. It's the 2 million people who decide to dunk on me.
Yes.
Having never heard about me before that moment, who wake up to a certain extent every morning wanting to dunk on some asshole who said something in 1999.
What?
It's that is a huge problem. And especially if... And I'm giving you an example of when, I did that shit, but I've moved on. I'm a different person.
It doesn't
I've
matter
apologized. I've rectified the situation. But the situation now is you want to dunk on me. That's the situation.
Yeah, that's how I see the Biden thing with him in the busing, where it's like, oh, you work with these white segregators. Like, it was 1970. Like, that's all there were those guys. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, if I have to work with somebody and there's only white racist males to work with, I have no choice.
People just don't use logic.
He made a gaffe using that as an example, though. He could have used any other example politically that he worked with that senator, but on a tax bill that had nothing to do with a hot button issue. Like, he's playing a political game right now. It's not an actual legislative game. So he could have picked a better that topic was fair game for Kamala Harris.
Well, he could be setting her up too.
True, but he could. Like, for people saying, like, oh, we should just really be unifying, and I'm like, you're right. However, there are 25 candidates. We'll unify after Iowa. I hope it works out.
Do you ever think, why are there 25 candidates or whatever when there was only, 6 tops the last time around? Because we already had the candidate we wanted, and then she was thrown out there. Why do people not learn from this?
The closest we'll ever see to... Because most people, the narrative they see is that Trump used foreign influence to overcome people. It's not proven, but the memes and stuff. But the overarching thought among most Americans of how Trump won.
I don't know about most Americans. You're gonna have to cite a survey.
But the overarching, and you're right, niche groups makes it hard. But the one through line, as I understand it, if you were to ask people how Trump won, they would tell you that, well, he speaks to a large swath of the population.
Right.
And there was some type of malfeasance, some type of interference, some type of garbage that allowed him to win the electoral vote but not the popular vote. That's how most people will see it.
Which is technically true because there has been evidence to that.
I happen to agree that we as Democrats didn't come off very strong by having a ridiculously fraught primary heading all the way into him,
which was already full of election fraud.
And I don't want to get into that part, but I do think we were pretty divided heading into Hillary.
I think they should have done something about the hackable voting machines before they got into
and I think that
this election.
But the problem is
they kept warning people about it.
The problem is the standard narrative is not that the Democratic Party was divided heading into an election against who we thought was a clown and could have lost and was going to
for a long time. People thought Ted Cruz had a good shot, though.
True, but who
was also in the DNC emails.
That was also in the not upside down.
Piper.
Those in the not upside down we live in now. Mm-hmm. He was an accident. Everything, and this is why I do enjoy following this race. Just objectively, just acting as if none of it actually happened. I do.
Well, none of it matters. So.
I mean, it all matters. Everything's nothing. Everything.
It's political theater.
But hear me out. It's political theater, but it's a play we've never seen. Before Trump, we'd always seen that play. After Trump, we're in the upside down. Nothing makes sense. The word electability means nothing. You can throw the polls out the window. You could see a picture of someone doing something. And your immediate thought is to say that it's not true, nothing.
There've been weird candidates before, I think way long.
Well, Ross Perot.
I think that's positive. But to get back to your question as to why there are 25 candidates running when that weakened the Democratic Party last time against this exact same candidate, the answer is those 25 candidates don't think that Hillary broke the Democratic Party like it probably did. What those candidates think is, well, this is the age of activism. No one can do it better than me. And if Trump can get elected, why not me? And that's not the worst way to think.
That's exactly.
But now everybody's
that's okay, but that's going to happen because people are going to jump on a trend and people are going to try.
I'm not 35 yet.
It shouldn't be a trend to want to be the president.
Well, no, but it is because now Trump. Which again, one of the weird indirect positive bounces of Trump is the idea that anybody can be president has come back.
Yeah, but that shouldn't tell you that there's a reason that anybody can be president because they're not really doing anything.
Well, but that can change. That can change.
That there are people behind them.
What you're talking about is, I agree with you, is that there is a machine that runs
through
John
these things. Bolton.
But that's only part of it. There are people that subscribe to this machine. But there are also people that are trying to throw that monkey wrench in there.
But you can't attack the system from within the system. So I don't understand.
But you can if you do it right and you get enough people behind you.
Like Bernie did.
Like Bernie did. I think Ocasio-Cortez has the idea to do that. I think she has
a lot of ideas.
And that's good. That's good. Ideas is what you want. You want people to try and error, especially when she's not old enough to run for president and she's kind of a neophyte and she's a new kind of thing.
And she's wrong sometimes. And
that's okay. But that's all right. That's okay because. She has now is when she should be wrong. Now is when she should
in Congress.
Yes.
Versus in president versus
because even if she was right, she still as a new representative wouldn't have a lot of clout to do things. But to make the mistakes and to own up to them, be like I fucked up, or to make the mistakes bald faced and be like, okay, well we're moving on to the next thing. To be transparent.
But when you're calling other people racist or certain terms like Nazis when they attack your policies,
that's the youth.
That's
the
really
youth
fucking annoying. But it's a thing that's going to keep him elected.
Yeah, but that's the youth, and he's already going to win. People, he's already going to win. There's no way he's going to lose.
Okay.
It's something really he'd have to get killed or something for him to lose. There's no way
he could. Plan something after he wins.
Well, he can't lose right now. There's just too much. But 2024 is a whole different ballgame. That because he's not gonna be able to run again, and there's gonna be these 25 Democrats are gonna be down to 15. There'll be other people coming in, and you're gonna see a Democratic president. Now the decision is
one of those Parkland kids might be 35.
Yeah, and might want to try.
Don't remind me of them.
Oh. And they want to try it. Because I'm watching the thing right now, watching these debates, Pete Buttigieg. He has a good shot 2024. He really right now he is. I mean, you laugh, but that's the face of the new presidential candidate right there. Gay,
all the boxes
well learned, but yeah, it ticks all the boxes. But at the same time, he is a genuinely smart person. Like he's not faking it.
There are a lot of smart people. They don't need to be president.
Well, but he wants to be president. Like he's what he wants to do.
Whoever wants to be president can just go.
Yes,
be
absolutely.
president.
Yeah, why not? That's the whole thing. That's America's fucking whole deal. Like if you want to be it, you want to dream it, you can be it. Like that's the whole thing of America.
That's a fake.
Well, it has come to that, yes, because of the way the system and the machine works.
They're selected. They're not elected.
But that can change. That can actually change.
How? With no election reform, there's no.
But it has to start. It has to start
reform.
someplace. Someone like a Pete Buttigieg could start reform like that.
But he's not. He's not talking about it.
But he could. Well, no,
nobody's talking about Broward County and the election fraud there and the Tim McAnova election.
Because if you make the changes
Debbie
they want to make, if they adjust the electoral college system, that's something you can do. If you adjust the popular voting system,
that's not the same as electoral reform, which is
you can't just do that.
Like
you
getting
have to,
rid of the problems, which are the machines.
You can't just do that. You have to phase these things in because
you should talk about
there's
it.
still a large contingent of people who want the automated voting, and there's still a large contingent of people who want paper voting. Like you're never going to change that because some people just think one thing is better than the other. And I personally think that electronic voting's where it's at, but you have to really secure it. And people
but it's not secure. That's
the
problem.
Thing because there are.
That's what they need to talk about.
Because there are still elements in play that are part of that old machine that control these voting machines. And they are still going to try to cheat. If you can give people an opportunity to cheat, they're going to cheat. That's just, people are scum. That's what they're going to do.
Well, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts.
Well, not even absolute power. Even a little bit of power corrupts, right? So
I know, a little bit takes a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be absolute. It could just be the power of making these voting machines. Like you don't have power to actually do anything, but you could make these machines. But then you have a 13-year-old kid who hacks them and be like, you guys are fucking up, right? Or an 8-year-old kid that hacks these machines.
Freaking age.
And that takes time. It takes time to root those people out and to change them.
But they're not doing that.
Well,
the media isn't assisting
you can't have it that way. That's not how it works. Social media and advertising have tricked us into thinking things happen overnight, and they don't. Things take 25,
they're not
30
happening
years.
at all. That's the problem.
They're happening slowly, but you don't see that. You want to see the results right now. It's like global warming. Like global warming, this climate
Let's not get into that. We have to wrap everything up.
This climate change has been happening for hundreds of years. Okay, you're able to predict these things with a fossil record. You're able to see these things coming down the line, but now we're starting to see them happening. They've been happening gradually over 100 years over geologic timescale.
It's been talked about for
right. They thought they were having an ice age in the 70s. Okay, like this is what they were thinking, but.
And
now,
Shell knew everything.
Right, but now, that doesn't matter. But now, it's happening, so people are jumping on it. And it's like the old...
But now it's being politicized.
Well, it's like an old science fiction movie where like people go back in time to like Mayan days, and they're about to be killed and sacrificed, and the scientists are like, there's an eclipse today. Watch this. Let my friends go, I'll take the sun away. And then here it comes. Mm-hmm. It just happened to be happening that day, but he uses it to get his friends out of trouble. And I think the climate change has been happening this whole time, but now the results are tangibly evident. So people are like, oh no, we need to make this a hot button issue. We need to make some money off this shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what they do.
Corporatization.
But I look at it like, if the ice caps are melting, first of all, capture that water and bottle it up. Like, well, I don't know why people aren't doing that shit. And secondly, it's making new land for people to live. Like, it's making room for people to go there. And yeah, there are some places that are going to change climate-wise, but they change over time. The Sahara used to be a jungle.
Erosion too.
Right, but people are jumping on it. And they've been trying to do since the Al Gore days, like trying to get ahead of that and be like, okay, this is how we monetize this thing. Like we're gonna, capture the water and we're gonna keep it for ourselves.
What they're doing now with like veganism, they're tying that into the whole fucking political change thing.
So you don't think? You don't think the NATO report that says we have 5 years to fix it? You don't believe? You don't?
I think NATO's in trouble and they want money, and I think that
I don't believe that we have 5 years to fix it. I think scientists are saying we need to make drastic changes in the next 5 years, or we will reach a point of no return.
Well, I think
that's not our fault though.
But I believe we've
gotten this.
But the problem with that report is that the news media comes out and says, well, everybody should stop using single-use plastic and only take one shower a week, and it's like, no, you should go after the actual polluters. The average person
and
isn't
the bomb
an
makers.
Polluter.
Or you should try now to learn to adapt to the change that's coming. And that's what people are preparing. They're fearing, and they're not preparing.
If you believe all the scientists, the change that's coming is that our Earth will become, like, the parts of the Earth that we're currently on will become unlivable. So by adapting to the change you're coming, do you mean buy condos in Nevada? Because the coastline will shrink?
But there's nothing science can't tackle. So, like, people live in Israel, for fuck's sake. Like, that's in the middle of fucking desert. Like, if they can do it there, they can do it anywhere. So, I mean, we can do that stuff. Like, we can make a seed that grows in very little water, and that grows nutrients for us. Like, we could do that.
They
if
already
people stop
have
fucking complaining about it, they could do it.
floating cities for these elites.
We could jump ahead of it instead of saying, what causes this? Let's stop it. You're not stopping it. It's already going to happen. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. 10 years ago, they were saying we had 5 years left. So it's like, it's not going to stop. So if it's not going to stop, prepare for it. Don't just sit there and whine about who did it or this or that or trying to make money off of the cause. Yes. Address the result. And so we can make a city in the desert that people can live in. And we have it here, right? The whole San Fernando Valley is that. So we can do it. It can happen, right? It's just that people would rather be afraid than be proactive. And that's the thing. It's like they jump on Trump for using fear, but the liberals use fear just as much as anybody else does.
They're using it throughout the entire.
The GOP had a terrorist in every basket, and the liberals have global warming and climate change
and white supremacists.
Oh
my gosh, we gotta be worried about all these white supremacists. There's thousands of white supremacists.
Every Republican is a racist.
Nazis.
If you know anybody who's a Republican,
oh my gosh,
racist.
Throw a milkshake on him with some dry.
Yeah,
quick
and do
dry
this.
cement.
Like, let's have the new trend happen, and like punch them in the face. It's like.
Well, he's not a journalist. It's okay.
Yeah, if you're going to punch him in the face,
be
prepared A, to be punched back. Okay. B, be prepared to take the consequence for punching someone in the face. Like, I'm cool punching Nazis. I don't have a problem with that. But you're going to go to jail for punching someone in the fucking face. Like, if that's the price of activism, sometimes it's the loss of your freedom, and that's how you know a true activist from a fake activist is that they're not afraid to go out there and lose their freedom over something that they're doing, or their lives even, to do something like the girl that got killed, the sad girl that got killed from the white supremacists. And people are like, she's a martyr. I'm like, she had no clue she was dying that day. She did not. If someone told her you're going to die if you go today, she would stay at home and fucking play Nintendo. She would never have gone out there. I said, so don't do that, because there are people who go out there and risk their lives and their freedom every fucking day to get their point across, and they're not getting the videos of these people. They're not getting
Luis Alvarez died recently.
Right,
a first responder. And
I mean, those motherfuckers are heroes. Like, they're heroes.
And they're getting fucked.
And they're getting fucked hard. And it's like, that to me is a real issue. That's a real issue, because those people are really sick. They, in regardless of what the causes of 9/11 are, they responded. They ran in there. They helped those people. They breathed in that shit. They did, even if it weren't their job, even if it was just somebody who was like if I was there, I would have went in there and helped those people.
Yeah, there were plenty of witnesses who just
who just ran away. And it's like, that's what they do. And it's like, to shaft them like that is just fucking terrible. It's terrible. But those are the real issues to me. And a lot of things people argue about, I mean, as tragic and horrible as they are, to me, aren't issues that really do much of anything. You know, like so when I look at people, like, I mean, again, this is hot button, but like, you look at the abortion issue.
Right.
I look at that and say, well, you know, is that creating jobs for us? Is that making people feel secure? Like, if we legalized abortion across the board, how does that help somebody who doesn't have a job? Like, how is it? Because the economy, right? The economy is stupid. That's the biggest mantra of the past 30, 40 years.
I'll answer your question, though.
Sure.
Like, I would consider that full healthcare to everyone, partially.
Fair enough.
Like, meaning if someone gets pregnant and they can't get an abortion, they have to have that child. They now have to work the first job they take, and probably work a bunch of jobs, and that child winds up on, like, if you're talking about the economy, that child and possibly that mother winds up on some form of social service, not because. And I'm not saying everybody should get abortions. Like, my problem is the people who think abortions are terrible should be on the same side as the people who think abortion should be plentiful, which is, well, let's put all the money into education so that people.
I agree.
So that people understand safe sex, so they don't get pregnant. Right. So that then they don't have abortions if they need abort. Like, you can have net abortions go down if you just do more sex education, but they'd rather vilify. They'd rather vilify doctors.
Also, they don't really seem to consider rape and incest as.
Well,
there's some people who don't even want to consider.
It's a whole sexism thing. But, like, back to your point, economically, more abortion. There are more jobs for more people doing more abortions, but there's also more people being productive members of society because they had the opportunity to have or not have a child.
No, I agree with you on that. And I
like to bring it down to, like, with the economics of that issue. And I also think it's a wedge issue if you look at the polls, which I know we're supposed to throw out all the polls, but most polls dating back before the Upside Down, when polls were reliable, most people agreed that a woman has the right to an abortion.
No, and I agree with that.
The only difference
Most
is
people
that
would
the people
rather-
who don't agree are so vocal and ready to fight you in the street about it that one side understands that that's an issue that'll get us to fight in the street and not talk about the fact that 9/11 first responders are just dying and no one's doing anything.
No, and that's it.
That's the problem.
Most people would agree that abortions should be between the hospital and the woman, not to do with the government at all.
The Constitution still believes that.
Yeah.
Yes,
there's
and
no-
that's where the thing is. Like, that's the thing. Like, no matter how you feel about abortion, I don't care what kind of role you have in government, you don't have the right at all to say who lives or dies in any given circumstance.
Well, and this, for me, the crux of the abortion issue is that people, they're okay. So, like in the Middle East, you have the mullahs, right? And they...
Wow, we're getting really into it.
And well, because this is the point, is that you have people who are controlling everything, and then you have the fanatics.
Right.
And it's like these guys, the mullahs, like I remember when they would go through and raid their places, like they had like gold toilets and shit, like Rolls Royces. Like they had all the stuff they would deny their religious followers and pretending to be religious guys.
Yeah.
So you have the same sort of army marching over the abortion thing, where it's like you have this Christian value saying God says don't kill a kid, although he doesn't care really. But okay, God says don't kill a kid, but those people that are making that judgment don't care. Like they're not really in it for the Christian thing. They want more Americans, and that's the thing, is they don't want the population to go down. They want more babies, more Americans for the military, for labor. Like they want that stuff. And so that's the basis of it, and then they use religion as like the veneer of it to get people to blow themselves up in the street.
I would also argue that's economic subjugation. That we're going to defund anything that tells you what sex is and how you could get pregnant, and then once you do get pregnant, we're going to blame you as if it's your problem, if it's your problem, and one of the options that used to be available to you is no longer available to you.
Well, they're going to federally defund it. The states can still fund it if they want to, and if they don't, then you can go someplace where they do. And that's the thing, is like, for me, that's the Republican thing, is like the states need to control everything. We don't want the federal government to control everything. So it's like, like the Meals on Wheels thing, the big Meals on Wheels, and no one's using their money for fucking Meals on Wheels. But at the same time, Trump is like, if you want that, pay for it. California, if you want that, you pay for it. We're not going to pay for it anymore. We have other things to spend money on. Like, the states need to control their shit. We're not going to federally lift the prohibition on marijuana, but if you want to do it as a state, fucking go for it. Just we're not going to take the time to enforce it as a federal. That's what Obama was saying, right? We're not going to take the time to enforce that shit as a federal government. We've got other things to do. So if you guys want to legalize in California, fucking go do it. But it's still going to be illegal on a federal level. But we're not going to do anything about it. Really, we're not going to enforce it. I mean, Trump's guys are trying, but again, another distraction issue where it's like no one's really going to fucking care. Like, no one really cares about weed. Like, there are other things to worry about with that stuff.
Also, no one's overturning Roe v. Wade anytime soon. It's not going to happen.
That's like the silliest thing, because
it's a fear monger.
There are certain things where, like, I look at stuff like I don't know, people were talking about segregation of gays, for example, and they're like, oh, the concentration camps and blah blah blah. And I said, look, I'll tell you what. The first time I see American citizens in prison in a camp for who they are, I will pick up a fucking gun and go down there. I was like, I will do that, like, because that's bad.
Yeah, like that's what will spur me into activism, and I do think under Trump versus any other president in my lifetime, I've felt closest to that thought of I'm gonna go do something.
Yeah, and that's fucking awesome. That is so great that people do that.
My comparison when he got elected was, we've been comparing him to Darth Vader this whole time. I hope he's ultimately Darth Vader in the sense that he brings balance. He ultimately
He's
Thanos. Sorry.
No,
because he's not killing.
No, but Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, the prophecy said he would bring balance to the Force. Right. And then he became Darth. He turned bad and became Darth Vader and killed a lot of motherfuckers who were in the Force. But at the very end of the story, spoilers to Star Wars, he ultimately brought balance to the Force.
The actual end or the end that we're at now?
No, but like the end of Star Wars. Yeah, but like he brought balance to the Force as it was understood at the end of the sixth movie.
I learned that from The Saga Begins by Weird Al Yankovic.
Because he ultimately did, and I think it's something to be said that Donald Trump will ultimately change politics forever, and then he becomes president, and you're like, what? They were wrong. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. But then at the end, it's like he actually spurns so much more activism than a Hillary or a Bernie presidency ever could have.
And
well, I wish that would translate to war protests, because so far it's just been about very little segments of society.
But but that's what our society's become with the internet to begin with. That we're all very niche.
But that's the whole point of social media is to
we're all niche and isolated
separate
in our own bubbles. But if a lot of our bubbles a lot of the bubbles are actually Venn diagramming more than they're not Venn diagramming.
I know, that's why it's sad to not see us all working together for a common goal, and instead of calling each other Nazis.
But then an activist needs to make that bubble that encompasses all the other bubbles to get everyone on one page and
I think
really
certain
work
people
together.
On the internet are trying to do some good things, like Jamie Dore has a show that reaches out to all kinds of different people. He had Ron Paul on. He had crap.
Yeah.
I do want to make it clear that, like, whenever I hear someone just Trump bash, or especially like Trump voter bash, like, I need to go out of my way to say, like, but how does the left side, how do the people who feel you feel?
Yeah.
Feel how you feel, and you right now feel so far away from that person.
And do you know Jimmy Dore? Do you know that?
I met him.
Yeah. He's really cool.
Oh, okay. Like, you reach people where they are, and like there aren't as many people trying to reach people where they are now.
James Corbett's
I wish there should be. I think he's on CBS. I don't think.
No, James Corbett. No.
Okay.
Not Corden.
Oh, okay. Good. I thought you were trying to tell me that James Corden was political at all, and I'm like,
no, James Corbett. No.
That is shocking. He hosted the Tonys.
No.
Carpool karaoke is really a Russian plan.
His battle line is clearly, we know what side of the battle line he's on.
TheCorbettReport.com.
Okay.
I'm going to shout out them.
She watches YouTube incessantly and watches all these great.
Well, I watch a lot of great documentaries about the past, and they're not based on conspiracy theories. They're actually based on fact.
I found the wrestling bubble is what I did, and then I just started running. Like, on average, I make about 100 clips out of.
Oh, I noticed you got verified too.
I did get verified. That is a thing I did back when you could apply.
I tried that. It didn't happen.
I told myself
you have to not get kicked off every 5 minutes too.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I pissed off the CIA a couple of times.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did you just tag them? Like, did you tag them, or did you actually?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they
don't like the
kept me from getting into my account while I was typing. They were like, nope, because they were seeing it right when it was being typed.
We're going to talk about that once the microphone's off.
12 hours. I'm on lockdown.
Right now?
And then I did learn to code and to see if it was true what they were saying, the right-wing people, about being like shut down on the learn to code thing. And then it turned out, yep, I got cut.
Did you screenshot it?
Yeah, I did, and I put it on Twitter and everything.
We're going to talk on the microphone.
Yeah. We got to wrap it up pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is a great anniversary episode.
This is exactly what the show is now.
Yes.
We start talking about fun stuff and end up talking about Trump.
Super.
That's what I worried. Yeah, like, I'm not worried. That's what I wondered would happen.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to avoid it completely, or is it just going to naturally flow?
We have to talk about the elephants in the room, no matter how annoying they are. That was a good joke, I thought.
It was pretty good.
Okay, good.
The elephant in the ass.
That was fun.
All right. So plugs. Let's plug it in.
I'm Steve Kaufmann. You can find me on Twitter almost exclusively at Steve Kaufmann. That's Kaufmann. I'm a wrestling pundit who runs YouTube pages for most of your favorite pro wrestling superstars who would probably want me to keep their name out of keep their name out of my mouth on this podcast.
Aw, that's nice.
No one's gonna hear it.
I know, like 2 people are downloading it. It'll be you and you. And me. No, 3.
I got a job from somebody, and I don't know who it is.
Okay.
Like, someone texted me, "Hey, buddy, want a job?" Like, sure. And I did. I completed the job.
What do you got?
I wish I could get a scam call.
Yeah, and I completed the job. I got it done, and then I sent the stuff to the person they sent me the email for, and I'm like, I don't even know who it is. I sent me the job. And I kept trying, but I didn't. I was like, okay. I see the last text from them was December 15th or December 21st, 2015. Okay, it's the last text I got from them. So I looked at my email from that time, and there's nothing. So I'm like, okay, so I don't know that. And by this time, it's too late to ask who it is because I'm like already taking the job.
You already did the job? Or
it's done, yeah. Yeah, so they referred me to their client. And
what's the job?
Oh, I made. Do you know the movie Endless Summer? Do you know that movie?
I think I've heard.
It's like a surf movie. Has a very iconic image for its poster. And so this guy wanted me to make it. He has something called. What did I just say? God damn it. Endless Summer Pools.
Pools?
Yeah. So he wanted me to copy the poster.
Oh.
but put like a pool net in the guy's hand and make it like.
Oh, very cool.
And then originally like 2 guys here.
Yeah.
That looks
And
really
so
cool.
yeah, so I made that for him, and that was what he
Nice.
wanted.
Awesome.
$150. I'm like, fuck it, I'll take it.
Oh wow. So
Well, this required some building, and then
Well, yeah.
plus I did an original version. He wanted just something based on it, so I made like a little thing of people
Oh my god.
that just kind of evokes the thing.
yeah, whereas he wanted an actual.
Oh.
Yeah, and he
yeah.
wanted an actual copy
An
of
actual
the thing.
remake.
Yeah, so
This is wonderful for the audience.
I know. Oh, it's don't even, it doesn't matter.
When and if they use it, they'll get to see it.
Yeah, Endless Pools NV is what it's called, Nevada.
Okay.
So there's a plug. It has nothing to do with. Sorry, it has nothing to do with me. I have no plugs. I don't do anything. World Domination Designs on Facebook. But
Yeah. I'll link to it.
yeah,
I always
that's
link to it.
about it. I don't really. Or Earth 2 Comics in Sherman Oaks. There you go. You can go there.
Okay.
Buy comics.
I love that you have like 2 glasses on.
I have to wear 2 glasses. Look how it looks too. It's so funny. I have to put the sunglasses on first and my other glasses over it.
Oh, I love
Wow.
it.
Because I can't see otherwise.
I had like flip ones.
I had those, but I lost them. And they were like $15. So I was like, I'm not buying them
I
again.
went to an optometrist in 2006 and had 20/20 vision. So therefore, I still have 20/20 vision.
That's how that works.
That's exactly how that works. If you never go back
No,
to
you
the
don't.
optometrist, you still have perfect vision.
My teeth are great.
Same thing.
Exactly.
Okay, I gotta go.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you guys for listening.
I'm gonna go see Avengers for the 7th time today.
We love you guys. Thank you. Bye.